Newspaper Review, Thursday, 16th of July 2015. Let's look at the headlines of today's newspapers. Very first, Daily News. At the weekly cabinet meeting, a round of applause for President. Sends note to SLFP General Secretary, voting CC meeting. President Maithripala Sirisena received a warm round of applause from his ministers as he walked into the meeting room at the Presidential Secretariat to hold the weekly cabinet meeting last morning. The minister seemed jubilant over the President's special statement on Tuesday, where he made his position clear on giving nomination to former President Mahinda Rajapaksa to contest under the UPFA ticket. Several senior ministers before the commencement of the cabinet meeting commented a statement which cleared the air over the matter. As the cabinet meeting ended, the ministers surrounded him again and expressed their pleasure for taking a strong stand against former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, his main reveal at the presidential election in January. After a brief casual discussion with the ministers, the president left for a Palanarwa with Minister Karujaya Surya to attend the funeral of Venerable Maldenia Jinalankara Thera. President Sirisena, before leaving Colombo, sent a note to SLFP headquarters through the administrative secretary of the party, cancelling the Central Committee meeting scheduled for 8 p.m. yesterday at the Sri Lanka Foundation. The Central Committee had been convened by SLFP General Secretary Anura Priyadarsana Yapa without consulting the chairman of the party. Next headline, Cabinet imposes ban on using state-owned vehicles for election. Candidates ordered to pay 1 lakh rupees for each state-owned vehicle. Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake said that Cabinet has decided the ministers should not use official vehicles for election-related activities. The Cabinet of Ministers yesterday decided to charge 1 lakh rupees per each government vehicles used for election-related activities. The decision will apply to politicians of all parties contesting the parliamentary election on August 17. The decision was made following instructions issued by Election Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya on using state resources for election-related activities. The minister dubbed this measure as an important step in the direction of establishing good governance in the country. Next headline, planned economic zones will bring development to village. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe yesterday said his government would establish 45 economic development zones throughout the country, and such a zone too would be established in Raigama, covering a part of Omagama, Eheliyagoda, Bandaragama, Horana and Avisawala electorates. One such zone would extend to one more 2 divisional secretariat areas, and the government would uplift infrastructure facilities such as water and electricity to such zone, he said. The economic development zones comprise more than 200 factories, while such measure would help create more income avenues to the youth, he said. The Prime Minister said that the UNP-led government too had a history of initiating mega-scale development projects such as Sitawakapura, Biyagama and Katunayaka economic zone, creating more employment opportunities to the youth. Next headline, Court holds SLFP Central Committee meeting. Colombo District Court Judge Arsha Setunga yesterday issued an enjoining order preventing the meeting of the Central Committee of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, which was scheduled to meet yesterday. The interim order was issued against SLFP Secretary General Anura Priyadarsana Yapa. The order will remain valid for 14 days. The Central Committee of the SLFP has been convened without the approval of the party leader President Maithripala Sirisena, who claimed convening of the meeting was illegal and against the party constitution. The case was filed before the Colombo District Court by Chairman Mulleriya Pradeshiya Sabha Prasanna Solangarachi, who is also a member of the SLFP Central Working Committee. That's headlines of Daily Newspaper. Next, move to Ceylon today. Dali Road drama. UPFA appoints Mahinda leader of EOC. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa arrived yesterday at the Sri Lanka Freedom Party headquarters in Dali Road to attend a meeting of the Election Operations Committee, of which he was appointed the leader of following the critical speech made by President Maithripala Sirisena the previous day. 16 party leaders and a number of former UPFA MPs, including Tissa Athanayaka, Thiran Alas, Prabha Ganesan, Dinesh Gunawardana, GL Pirish and Vimal Weerawansa attending the meeting. Rajapaksa was seen carrying the talisman which he had known his person during the presidential election campaign. This talisman is believed to help the individual to wield power over others. Whilst addressing the media outside the main building of the SLFP headquarters, Rajapaksa said that he will give a 50 response to the allegation brought against him by the president last Tuesday at the inaugural UPFA rally scheduled to take place in Anuradhapura. Next headline, Rajapaksa fascistic movement must end. Parliamentary elections are slated to be held at the time when the people are faced with very serious problems. The previous government bogus development programs took place under conditions of utterly servile exploitation by the transnational corporation under the hegemony of the superpowers. The Rajapaksa government regarded the proposals of the IMF, World Bank and the WTO as gospel. Given the combined opposition to such proposals launched by the working people, the democratic and environmental forces, the future Ranil Wickremesinghe government may take steps to change. The Mahinda regime used the repressive apparatus created during the nearly 3 decades-long civil war and crucial operational forces in order to speed up the implementation of the agenda of the global forces. No country in the world can embark on real development by thus cumbing the such awful agenda. The rural exaggerate whatever development that has taken place in some urban areas as the all-round development paradigm in the world country due to excessive publicity propelled by the manipulated technological apparatchiks. People are dulled into believing that what is the fact unrealizable for them is well within their reach before long. Next we move to Daily Mirror. The tussle toughens. Colombo District Court yesterday issued an enjoining order preventing SLFA General Secretary from convening the party's Central Committee meetings without the approval of party chairman President Maithripala Sirisena until July 29. Next headline, MR2 steer UPFA campaign. President agreed 2 weeks ago. Susil. General Secretary of the SLFA Anura Priyadarsana Yapa yesterday said the propaganda campaign of the UPFA for the August 17 parliamentary polls would be stated for the former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, as no one in the alliance was willing to give even the slightest of support to the UNP, at least informally. Next headline, Malabe fracas. Mother remanded till July 28. 38 years old mother who was arrested by the Kadewala police yesterday morning following a fracas she had with the traffic police officers at Malabe on Tuesday evening was yesterday remanded till July 28. The woman and her husband were arrested yesterday morning, police spokesman ASP Ruwan Gunasekara said. A woman had threatened the police officer after they had warned her against driving with the infant on her lap. The video clip of the incident where the 30-year-old mother threatening the officer went viral on the social media after a bystander posted it on the Facebook. The police said that the woman had torn the charge sheet book and had taken the helmet belonging to the traffic police officer. Following the incident, the husband arrived at the Kadewala police station to hand over the helmet and told the officers that his wife was suffering from a mental ailment. The woman was remanded till July 28 and the husband was released on bail by the Kadewala magistrate. Next headline, new alliance not against MR Champika. United National Front of Good Governance was not an alliance formed only against former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, but formed to fulfill the political reforms that could not be achieved in the previous parliament. Jathika Urime General Secretary Patali Champika Ranawaka said yesterday. That's the headlines of today's newspapers. We'll meet tomorrow with more headlines. Until then, log on with Athavan News.